After the accident,
I was stuck paying all these medical bills.
The Witherspoon Law Group understands that you didn't deserve what happened to you, but you do deserve justice.
They weren't just there for me, they fought for me.
I care about what my clients are going through. We are in the fight of their lives.
We don't just fight for you, we fight with you and make sure you get the compensation you deserve.
And that's why we do what we do. And what we do is win.
Call 844-WE-WIN-44.
Welcome to Winning Wednesday. I am Iris Girding. Thank you for joining me today. I am so excited today. I have the one and only Miss Shani Scott joining me. She is the owner and operator of Media Room 360 Television. So, Miss Shani Scott.
You did that quick. How you doing today?
I couldn't wait to get you on.
I'm like, trying to share
quick. No,
yeah.
See, that's what happens. She's normally behind the scene making all of the commercials come up, and she's normally back there as beautiful, but just back there doing her thing. So I'm so excited to have her to join me today. And I want to thank her for allowing me to be on her platform. She has some professional people on this platform, honey, and I am a newbie. And my only goal is to get resources out to the community. I'm not like a touch, I don't know all the rules. Shani will tell you. I'll ask in a minute. Where should I look? What should I do? Because all I want to do is get the information to you. And she has allowed me an avenue. So I am more than grateful. Going into Thanksgiving, I am thankful for you, Miss Shani Scott.
And I'm thankful for you being on the platform as well. Iris she underestimates herself. Iris is doing a wonderful job with Iris in the city. And we are so excited to have you be a part of this.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So today we are going to talk as women and entrepreneurs as we go into the holiday. Everybody is hustling, bustling, and getting ready for things. And they're like, I'm off tomorrow, but
we not all
such thing. Like, I know I don't. It's like, no. I'm on tomorrow. I'm making sure all gadgets are on the counter as I pick and wash greens. So, but what does that look for you because you're a mother, you're responsible for so much being the owner and operator of Media Room 360.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility, and a lot of people think, oh, it's easy. She has a cool life, a cool job. And I will pat my back and pop my collar and say, I do make it look easy, but no, it's a lot of responsibility in being an entrepreneur. Sometimes you have to seek employment just to make sure you can stay afloat. And that's where I am now, because you have slow seasons. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have clients that pay slow or might not pay at all.
Like those clients. Those are not very good clients to have on our books.
Right. But it happens, and it's all a part of it. And sometimes people get caught up with that in the beginning of starting their business. And in the beginning of starting your business is the first 5 years. Most people think, oh, I'm going to start my business and everything's going to be great. I'm going to work for myself. I can do this. You work more when you work for yourself, because you have to get it all done. You can't just say, oh, well, second shift will be here and they'll handle this. It has to be done if you want everything to keep moving and operating the way that you plan, the way you built your business model. So tomorrow I'll be working 8 hours.
8 hours. Wow. So how long have you been in this industry? And like, what are some of the things on your resume? Because you have such an extensive, every time I'm around you, I'm looking around like, what else did you do? Where is this poster from?
So I've been in media for 28 years. I started in radio. Radio is my love. I knew at 3 years old, that's what I wanted to do. So at 17, I got my first job at a radio station, and I never looked back. Now, I branched off and started Media Room 360 in 2018 because in 2016, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. Wow. Now, at the time, I was in corporate radio and I was a program director, but I had to move back to Dallas so we could deal with breast cancer. And the company wanted me to stay on as a disc jockey for them because it was $1.8 million attached to me per quarter.
Wow.
So if I left, they lost that too. That's where they went wrong. They told me how much. And they said, well, you know, can we work something out and you voice track from Dallas? And, you know, we play it back here. Voice tracking is when you're in another location and you set up and record and it goes to the radio station because the station was in a completely different market, completely different city. I said, yeah, we can. You break me off some of this $1.8 million.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk. And so I built a studio in my mom's house and did my show there for a year. But I also started the video podcast. It wasn't this fancy, but me and another colleague started that at the time, and people didn't understand it. They were like, well, that's cool what y'all do, but no, we don't want to do that. And once I realized that I could make the same amount of money in a room in my mama's house that I made for corporate America, I said, "Oh no, I'm not going back to do that again."
In the room,
yeah, I'm at my mama's house in this front room doing this. Oh no. So that's how I ended up with Media Room 360, and my vision was always that because what a lot of people don't think about is how fast the digital world moves and how it changes. Technology is changing every second. And in radio, what we were experiencing, people that had been in it at least 20 years were getting frustrated with the demands they were putting on us for to post. You know, somebody my age, we don't like social media and radio because there's so much you have to do. You know, it's not because you want to do it. It's no, you have to do it because your job depends on it. And they can replace you easily with a social media influencer because they don't understand what their pay scale is supposed to look like. They're just happy to be on the radio and have, 3 million people to talk to, 3 million more to follow them. So it's not, the tension. They do it. They think it's fun. So I was like, no, we have to change our way of thinking if we want to stay in this business and be competitive in this market. And I wanted to create my own lane. So I created Media Room 360 and opened it up to other DJs that wanted to start their own podcast, their own shows, and to content creators who needed an outlet to showcase their shorts, their longs, their feature films. Because when they're trying to shop to BET or Lifetime to pick up their show, they're going to ask, well, what platform are you on? YouTube is not bad, but when you can say, hey, I'm available in over 40 million homes in the US through Roku and Apple TV and Amazon Fire Stick, it's more attractive to them. So it helps them out that way.
Well, you have definitely created a lane. Definitely. And if you all are not following Media Room 360 on YouTube, please subscribe. I mean, the morning show, I find myself chatting and talking. I'm like, I need to be getting ready, and it's always entertaining. So Michael Sean and the crew and Miss Shani is on there in the morning, and they have guests, and it's just always entertaining and full of information. So getting into the holiday and the client, I guess, do you get a burst of people at the beginning of the year that say they want to start projects and they might go in strong with you? How do you go about determining who to work with? Do you just take everybody? Do you do like interview out there that may be interested in being on your platform?
Well, this time of year is usually slow. It's usually the fourth quarter and first quarter are slow on the podcasting side. And no, I don't take everybody. I do sit down and talk to them to see, where are they, how serious they are going to be, because even though it is a platform that they have to pay to be on, there is a level of commitment that comes with that, because then there's a part that I have to provide them to make their podcast, go over well. So if I'm going to commit to it, I need to make sure that they're going to commit to it and they understand what they're committing to. Outside of the podcasting work, during this time, usually it's the people that need marketing plans. Like I work with schools, charter schools that need a marketing plan. They might need a social media campaign to help them retain the students that they have. And especially with COVID, so many schools have experienced the loss of students, the loss of teachers, because people just aren't comfortable sending their kids to school. And some teachers, you know, they don't want to have to deal with what they have to deal with at the school. So those, I get a big rise with them, because if we're coming to the end of a semester and they want to make sure the students will come back. So I'll build out marketing plans and social media campaigns to help them retain their students, because, you know, in Texas, at the end of the day, if they don't pass this test, the school doesn't get their money.
I think that one, the year that they waived the scores or whatever, I think that was the best year of some of my friends' children's lives.
Yeah, and then
it just relieved such a level of stress for them.
Yeah, and that's not the workplace now. That's not the workplace. That's not college. So I think some of I'm not in education, so you know, but I just on the outside looking in, I think if they changed the model, the students would be ready. You know, they'd be set up for success better in today's world. And a lot of times, you know, we're stuck on what we did and how it works for us, and how it worked for us is not how it works for them.
How it works now.
Because I mean, these young people are they're like they understand the entrepreneur lane, and they are killing it.
They are killing it. You have so many entrepreneurs under the age of 30.
Yes.
There are multimillionaire, not just social media or Facebook entrepreneurs. They are entrepreneurs making deals with multi-million-dollar corporations.
Yeah.
So I am very impressed with our 30 and unders that have, some of them didn't take the traditional college, and they're still getting it done. So, hey, whichever route you take, just have a plan. So being the guru of all things entertainment, I see you on TikTok. You do your little TikTok and all your little dances. And so what are some of the things that you can, some tips, not all the secrets, because that's what make your sauce special, but what are some of the tips that you can give entrepreneurs like myself that's trying to grow brands, I guess, in the social media world? Where is this social media world headed with all of the Facebook Meta name change, and what platform should we be really focusing on if we want to grow in sales and not so much numbers? We want to have more outcomes.
I would say for to answer the first question, what's the secret? My children. I consult them for everything that I do. Because when I introduce people to my kids, I say, these are my two pimps. Or I'll say, I got two pimps. Because the kids run everything. When have you ever heard of Disneyland laying off people outside of COVID?
It's true.
Never. So kids run it all. My social media is ran by my 11 and 12-year-old. They come up with the ideas. They direct produce the videos. They tell me what to do. They find the sounds for me to put there. And with marketing, what I learned is that it's important to use all of the social media platforms.
Okay.
Because you're reaching different audiences on all of them.
Okay.
Whatever the kids are doing, the 25-54 crowd is going to follow what they're doing, because the 25-54 crowd wants to be the 16-year-old to a certain degree. I don't want to be the 16-year-old, but I get it. So I want to be, I want to know what's going on. I want to be up to date to what's going on. So I would follow all of them. If you have an opportunity to buy ads on the different platforms, do that to promote your business. You have to have advertising. Without an advertising campaign, no one will know who you are, because you cannot depend on your friends and family to share your information. You just can't. You can't. They mean well,
Right.
They're happy for you, but they don't.
Not consistent with the sharing. Well,
Right.
my family is very consistent with the sharing. So thanks, family, for your support.
Well, I have a few family members that are, Lavish Wink. My little cousin started an eyelash line, and so now she's very consistent in sharing everything that I do, everything. But the others, they'll watch it and tell me, "Oh, I saw you," and "Oh, that looks good." But when it comes down to actually making money, that's that's the customer that I meet, the client that I meet.
Okay.
The purchaser, and then they use their word of mouth to tell people about you, and you grow that way. But if you depend on your circle and your family and friends, then
Yeah. You definitely have
No.
to reach the audience outside of your normal circle to grow.
And with the social media platforms, you have to read the trends on them because they change. They change. They could change every 30 days. So you got to understand when you need to post. Do the research to find out what types of ads or what types of posts are working. Go as far as to hire a social media expert because they know what they're doing. So you might spend 30 hours trying to figure it out when you could have just had a 30-minute conversation and they can tell you, okay, we need to do this, and you spend $500-$600, $700 to get you a pretty good social media campaign for the year. I'm sorry, for the month.
I was going to say.
Yeah, for the month.
Well,
For the
don't-
month. Let
don't
me
have
not
my
say that.
clients- If anybody heard that, that's
Yeah, just for the month.
it's for the month. That's
Yeah,
a
just
good
for the
one.
month.
That's a-
Usually they do it like in 28 days. So for
Right.
28 days, that might be one post a day that'll go across 4 different platforms. And you should see some growth as long as you're consistent. And for me, just being transparent, that's the biggest hurdle for me is being consistent because I'll start out and then I'll get busy on another project or I'm working on somebody else's social media. So then mine falls behind. So you know what I had to do? I said, well, let me hire a social media expert to keep my stuff going so I can keep working. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There is no shame to the entrepreneur hiring other people to execute in the areas where you may be an expert. I mean, if you're trying to actually run the business, you have to determine which line or which part of the business you want to be responsible for. Although it's your plan, you have a specialty, you have a special sauce that you pour into. So you need to operate in that space and have other people to support. So that is a big key, that having a team or at least one person that gets it, that's a forward thinker and that can help kind of push you to the next level. And I'm never afraid to have someone assist me that's smarter. By all means.
Yeah, and there are services out there that you could use. You could hire a whole staff for under $5,000 a month. One of my friends shared with me the information. I don't mind sharing it with anybody. Just inbox me because I don't have the link on hand. But there is a service, not Fiverr, but where if I need a web developer, someone to keep up my webpage, I might have to pay them $500 a month, and they agree to work 25 hours a week. That's not bad.
It's not.
That's not bad.
It's definitely all types of firms out there. You just have to search for them because they have one like your something connection, and like you say, they can do virtual personal assistant for you, social media management. It's just tons of ways that you can be supported in your large or small business. So don't be afraid to solicit help. Help is good. Now I need to solicit for 11 and 12-year-old because my children are 27, 30, and 18. And I asked them about TikTok and they're like, no, but my daughter, she's always on it. But just like you said, relying on like a younger generation, to help keep us in the loop or keep you in the loop to keep things going. I think that's fun. That's a way for you to connect with your daughters and actually see what they're watching and on social media and what they actually know, because you want to know like what they're watching, what they know how to do with the phones, what they're capable of. So But
And
my
it's
son,
always good. I think I say all the time, my kids are smarter than me when it comes to technology. And whenever I build a team, I want people that are smarter than me. And people don't
yes,
realize that I do that, but it's like, well, yeah, I might be the person that's calling the shots, but I'm learning from my team because I
yes,
don't know everything. Yeah,
right.
I'm just,
I have
you
this
know,
plan.
yeah, I understand my lane. This is what I do, but I need somebody that I can, watch and look at and learn from too, so I can continue to grow. And as long as for me personally, I think as long as you don't get, fall into that, I'm the boss and this is me and I'm running
Right.
this and I'm large and in charge, then you'll be fine. Because you got to be open to, well, you want a team around you that's smarter than you.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong
You're
room.
in the wrong room.
It's like you
You're
ain't
in the
going
wrong
room
room.
going nowhere, you going nowhere. So yeah, surround yourself. Don't be afraid to what they say, step in the room where they speak in another language and learn it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
have you had to reinvent yourself at all during your career?
Oh, several times when I worked for companies, I had to, because you have to conform to what they're looking for. There was one year I was told that I wasn't marketable. And now I was all of a size 4, curvy, long hair, pretty skin, but I wouldn't wear a pair of Daisy Dukes. So I became unmarketable. Yeah. And I never put on the Daisy Dukes. So I never got the promotion at that particular station. But
So would
when
they go out and do promotions and they wanted you to wear Daisy Dukes?
yeah, there was a car show coming up and they wanted
Mm.
me to wear like a little tank top, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Ooh,
I'm not
too much.
doing that. Are
I
you
get the
serious?
same results in my knickerbockers and t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But outside of that type of dealing with that, there was a transition I had to make when I went from urban to urban AC. So from the hip hop radio station to the R&B station,
Okay.
because you don't have to become mellow, but there were some things that I, as far as vocabulary, using the right vocabulary on the R&B station opposed to what I would say on the hip hop station.
Station.
Now on the R&B station, we are definitely not dead. Okay, we are definitely not dead. We are hips, but it's still a way to present it. So in that sense, I had to reinvent myself for that. Now working for myself, I have had to reinvent myself working for myself, because at one time I would wake up. The morning show, we start at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Central Standard. We're usually up between 4 and 4:30 texting each other about what we're going to do on the show or what's going to happen on the show. I would lay in the bed until 5:55 and then show up here in my pajamas, hair not combed, and be on do the show. 'Cause I'm like, it's too early for all of this. But eventually, one day I was like, that's really not the look I want to give. So let me start, waking up, combing my hair, making myself look presentable. So that way we can be more attractive to the viewer. You want to give the viewer something to look at. Every day they don't need to look at me and I just rolled out of bed.
Well, every time I've seen you, you've been beautiful,
Thank you.
glamorous.
That's this year.
That's a new thing.
Yeah, that's this year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know we may have some people out there that may be interested in advertising with you, being having a show. How do you want them to contact you?
If you're interested in having a show, here, let me put it up here. Let me see if I can find the link. I'm so used to being behind the scenes on the
Behind
show.
the
I didn't even
scenes.
think about doing this. But you can email me at info@mediaroom360.com. That's the best way to get in touch with me. And if you want to check out the channel, or any of our platforms, you can always search Media Room 360 TV. It's the same thing on all platforms, Media Room 360 TV, put the TV at the end. But yeah, if you're interested in starting a show, or you want to, know what's the first thing I do to start a show, I provide consulting. for that too. You know, if it's that, well, you know what, I don't necessarily want to do a podcast. I actually want to get in radio. Consult you on that as well. If your company needs leadership training, customer service training, those are other services that I provide as well.
Hear that? Okay, so since we know we are reaching a broad audience, some of those services as far as the coaching and training, are they offered virtually or do you get flued out?
They're offered virtually, or I can come in person for a fee.
See, that's that professional side. I can come in person, me getting flued out.
Yeah, getting flued out. I can get flued out. As long as the check is right. Because what I've learned is the generation that we have coming up now, they handle things different. And so that's what I hear from a lot of business owners or other entrepreneurs that hire people that are between the ages of 18 and 27. And so, well, they're rude. Well, no, they're not rude. That's how they communicate. And we have to understand that's just how they communicate. They're not rude. They're not being rude. They don't know they're being rude. They think they're just communicating.
I'm like, where is the home training, Jesus? So thank you for that tip. I'm like, oh, if my daughter act like that in person, somebody will tell me they better not.
Yeah, and it's the way our society is, and the only way we can change it, we have to bring some awareness to them the right way, because you know you can't just attack somebody and try to get them to conform to something. But if you could help them see where, okay, if you handle this way, this is the outcome that you probably get opposed to this. Because a lot of times if they lose business, they don't care because they know it's somebody else they can sell it to, or you know they can. Yeah, so it's
within
different.
Itself, that age barrier with the kind of lack of the respect, the borderline, when the customer is older, you know, because on one point, like you said, you can say this is how I handle my business, but where's the respect factor? So that's just another conversation. Well, thank you, Miss Shani, for joining us and giving us a little background on Media Room 360 TV.
You
and
are
of
welcome.
course, I look forward to more Winning Wednesdays.
I do too. I can't wait for your next guest. I can't wait for you to have your next guest.
You can't wait for my next guest. You don't want to talk to me next week?
No, I mean, because you have some amazing guests. That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
okay.
you have some interesting guests. I'm sitting on this side
nice. Look at,
watching.
I
Well, we
have
have
my
the
little
same microphone.
yeah, that's the one you told.
Yeah, the Blue
I
Yeti.
just, can you even tell that it's on? Oh, you can? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can hear it. Yeah, you can hear the difference.
Oh, okay. Well, we wish you all a wonderful pre-Thanksgiving Eve and safe travels, whether you are going train, plane, or automobile, or boat. Safe travels in all that you do. Love and blessings. Hope you enjoyed this Winning Wednesday.
After the accident,
I was stuck paying all these medical bills.
The Witherspoon Law Group understands that you didn't deserve what happened to you, but you do deserve justice.
They weren't just there for me, they fought for me.
I care about what my clients are going through. We are in the fight of their lives.
We don't just fight for you, we fight with you and make sure you get the compensation you deserve.
And that's why we do what we do. And what we do is win.
Call 844-WE-WIN-44.